She waited a month and a half to face her ex-boyfriend in court, and today it finally happened.
A couple of weeks ago here, we told you about a young Austin woman fighting for a protective order against him. Well, KXAN's Kelsea McHenry was in the court this morning. She joins us live with the very latest on this.
Good evening, you guys. Well, Kelsea Gutknecht at one point thought that her ex-boyfriend might not show up in court today. He was going to be arrested if he did. Well, he did show up, much to her surprise. This is the day that took a month and a half to get to. Kelsea Gutknecht is finally taking that walk into family court to face her ex-boyfriend.
I mean, there's such a long waiting period that something can happen, and that's a lot, especially with a child that you're trying to protect as well, and then you're trying to pay your bills, and you're trying to go to work, and you've got the stress of that.
Anthony Ramirez did show up for court Friday with his mother and attorney. Back in June, Kelsea filed a protective order against Ramirez, but it wasn't permanently effective until Ramirez was served and faced a judge. That took a month and a half. The problem, counties don't have a system to share or communicate information with one another, and that means suspects can slip through the cracks.
I think it's a great idea. I think it will require legislative changes, but that's definitely something that there has been talk about, and we're considering. It involves a lot of players.
Kelsea finally got the outcome she wanted, a permanent protective order, and her ex-boyfriend was immediately arrested for violating the emergency order filed back in June.
Which is effective immediately. It ensures a quicker police response if any violations are reported. So she's walking out of here in a much safer position than she was before.
Yeah. It's a much different Kelsea that walks out than had walked in.
There's no court date anymore. Like, I'm done. And there's a protective order, and I feel a lot better now.
And Kelsea is doing something she hasn't done in a long time.
Yes.
Smile.
I do. I feel so much better.
Yeah.
I feel relieved. I do.
Well, you'll remember the day Ramirez was served. Management at Kelsea's apartment complex let someone in her apartment who stole some of her belongings. Since then, a maintenance worker has come forward and identified Ramirez as the thief. Now, if Ramirez violates the permanent order, he could face up to a year in jail. Kelsea's protective order is good for 2 years. We are live in the studio. Kelsea McHenry, KXAN News.